The National Lacrosse League Saturday Showcase, the battle for the #1 spot. In the unified standings, the 4-0 Buffalo Bandits and the 4-1 Philadelphia Wings. Welcome to the Castor pregame show. John Kurtler, Steve Bermel, Dave Buchanan in just a couple of moments. Bandits coming off a huge victory last week, going 4-0 on the season, but they're meeting a big team in Philadelphia, 4-1. Steve, what will it be? A high-scoring game or a defensive battle with a goaltending clinic?
I think we'll see some high-powered offenses going to work, and as you mentioned, John, teams 1 and 2 in the standings.
How about this guy? Ian McKay, 5 heaters last week.
Yeah, played a lot of transition in his time in Buffalo, but he's moved to a full-time forward. 2 5-goal games this year, including a 5-for-5 night, 5 goals on 5 shots against Ottawa a few weeks ago.
Career high in points for Ian McKay, the mighty righty from Philadelphia, Joe Resetarits.
Yeah, Joey Rez, the Hamburg, New York native, second in league scoring with 40 points, 12 goals, 28 assists. He's the kind of player that a goalie and a defense have to specifically game plan for. If the Bandits aren't careful, Joe Resetarits will dominate tonight's game.
A lot of scoring in this building tonight, Steve. Let's take a look at who's who just in the top part of the NLL scoring leaders.
Yeah, 3 players from tonight's game in the top scoring of the league. Joe Resetarits leading the way, Mitch Jones, Dane Smith, and maybe with Dane Smith having only played 4 games and 38 points is worth highlighting.
Taking a look at the youngster, Nick Daboud, who will be the starting goaltender tonight for Philadelphia. .780 save percentage. 4-1 on the season. 47 saves last week in their victory against Calgary. Lifetime 32-23. 16 years his senior, Matt Vince. .840 save percentage. 19th season in the National Lacrosse League. Victory last week, making him 4-0. 5 championship rings, 8-time goaltender of the year, Matt Vince. Kyle Buchanan, who's just one of the great contributors of the Bandits, getting last-minute instructions before we go to the face-off. Buchanan coming into this evening's game, averaging 4.5 points against Philadelphia. Tyler Burton ready to do the draw chores with this man, the milkman as he goes by, Connor Farrell. 68% success rate last week, but I'll tell you what, Burton with 1,536 victories on the draw. Meeting somebody tonight in terms of Connor Farrell. Buffalo with the first set down into the Philadelphia zone, led by Josh Byrne. In the lime green shoes is Dane Smith. Ian McKay, who had those 5 goals last week, letting it back over to Chase Frazier, now to Smith. Good ball movement, 10 on the shot clock as the ball trickles down into the near Philadelphia corner. Wheeled back out, and here's their first set of the evening. Former Bandit, and there are a few of them on the Philadelphia team. Lee and Patton leaving it off. Ian Rubel, the head coach of Philadelphia, putting his big guns out there already. Blaze Reardon in there. Joey Resetarits, the man in the left side, coming over the restraining line of Buffalo, eyeing the situation out, getting some good movement from the respective players. A shot going wide, that by Holden Katoni, and it'll be Buffalo's ball out of their own zone.
Good job there by Cam Wires, getting some slashes onto the hands of Joey Resetarits, not letting him set up and shoot. Resetarits kicks it back, ball bounces out of play, and Buffalo awarded possession.
Welcome back, Chris Kluche, number 2 on your screen, leaving it back over to Dehuka Nanakoke, the birthday boy. Dane Smith with the ball in the traffic. Will leave it back into the corner for Buchanan. 5 to shoot for Buffalo. Hanging on to the ball is Buchanan with a shot that goes wide. Rebound, shot hard. And that's by Clay Scanlon. Steve, interesting to note on lineups tonight.
Yeah.
We've got a few, so tell the fans.
Yeah, with Chris Kluche coming back into the lineup, Justin Martin and Zach Belter moving to IR. We see Sam LaRue playing. Ian McKay listed his transition instead of playing forward. He might be helping out on the back end, and Chris Kluche back in the lineup.
Resetarits all by himself right to the doorstep of Matt Vince, who met him square. Buffalo with the ball back out at mid. Shoveling passes Ian McKay. Josh Byrne field wide over to Dane Smith. His nifty deke trying to get it in front to McKay, and he's hammered to the turf. Rebound, score! Johnny on the spot, Josh Byrne.
John, a broken play as Dane Smith tries to feed Ian McKay right out in front. And McKay gets blown up by two Philadelphia Wings defenders. Kind of surprised there wasn't even a loose ball push called as McKay is cross-checked right across his chest. But Josh Byrne finds the loose ball with his back to the net, does half a spin, turns back out front, and beats Nick Damude right on the doorstep. And the Bandits have broken the ice 2 minutes and 4 seconds into the first quarter.
10 to the season for Josh Byrne, coming into this evening's game with 33 points, averaging 6 points against Philadelphia. Bandits with an 8-1 record over the Wings, the new Wings. A bitter rivalry in the early 90s between these two clubs in the battle of the respective championships. Here's a diving shot by Buffalo. That's by Kyle Buchanan. Scooped up, however, stolen on the forecheck. And finally, Nick Damude will send it back out to center. Great to have you with us tonight on CW23 ESPN Plus and Philly 57. 4-1 Philadelphia Wings, 4-0 Buffalo Bandits. Quick stick shot goes wide by Kyle Buchanan. Now a thrust down the left wing lane for Philadelphia. In over the line. Liam Patton shoveling the ball. Waiting on the stick as well as Tony Malcolm, former Buffalo Bandit. He'll leave it off to the forwards. Now setting up for Mitch Jones. Righty is Reseteris into traffic. Steve, it looks like Buffalo's defense shutting things down a little bit, closing the old house.
Yeah, they're not letting a lot of freedom there on the hands for the Wings forwards. And a good chance there in transition. Ian McKay and Dylan Robinson combining. That shot goes wide, and Philadelphia coming back the other way.
And we'd like to welcome our listeners tonight on 1520 The Bet. 50,000 watts. Joey Reseteris in the corner, leaving it back out to the running side. That from the far corner, twirling around, trying to get something together with 5 to shoot from the far side. Good double team for Buffalo, and Steve, it does look like Buffalo, while they do the old house defense, they expand a little bit further and take the ball away.
Yeah, very aggressive defense, John. Lots of active sticks on the hands, not allowing the Wings players to get comfortable and get set up. Another broken play, and now a penalty coming up here to Philadelphia.
1-0 Buffalo. Josh Byrne, who has the ball. He'll wait for the reinforcements to come from the bench. It's Clay Scanlon. In the far side is Dane Smith. Whoa, drive. That one a blistering shot by Chris Kluche. Again, back on the line. Missed 2 games with an upper body injury. Byrne, top of the slot, over to Smith. Smith with a nifty move. Twirling around, leaving it back to Kluche with a drive. Damude with the save. And we're going to have tonight's first penalty after some pushing and shoving. And see what the call is. Todd LeBranche is the crew chief tonight. Cam Anderson along with Lane Hartung, the referees, and Joe Smith, the timekeeper. Here's the call.
Philadelphia, number 12, minor penalty, check from behind.
So Buffalo with the power play going in at 12 with the 14-team league. 7 for 20 at 35%. Smith and Byrne 11 points. Penalty kill for Philadelphia, 11th overall in the league, 50%. Calgary went 4 for 6 last week. Watch Buffalo's power play and the way they manipulate the ball. Steve, they were working on this during the warm-ups tonight.
Yeah, we noticed Clay Scanlon taking time on the power play, Ian McKay taking time on the penalty kill. And a good look there from Dane Smith, turned away by Nick Damude.
Short-handed situation now for Philadelphia, zeroing in on the restraining line of Buffalo. Will bring it back out to center. Well, they burn more time off the penalty. That to Liam Patton. 1-0 Buffalo. Here's Philadelphia, short-handed. Oh, shot to the left side of Matt Vince, and he met that rubber. 9:51 left to play here in quarter number 1. It's everything we thought about. End-to-end action. 5 shots for Buffalo, Philadelphia 2, and the Bandits have the 1-0 lead.
This is why you bring your talents inside the box. Air Boucher takes flight.
Just rips it past.
Simply cannot miss.
This is your life without Eero.
Oh, come on.
The Wi-Fi's out again!
This is the worst.
Not now.
And this is your life with Eero.
Oh, come on.
Why would you do this to us?
This is the worst.
We can't improve everything in your life, but we can improve your Wi-Fi. It's fast, reliable, and now available outside your home. Eero, the way Wi-Fi should be.
Sorry.
Alan Jackson, Travis Tritt, Blake Shelton, Brooks.
Bandits forward Tehoka Nanticoke is known for his highlight reel goals, but that's not the only thing that makes him special, according to Bandits head coach John Tavares. JT says Tehoka is also special to the Bandits offense for his willingness to get his teammates open. He also will take a play that's designed for him to shoot and give it up to one of his teammates if he thinks they have a better chance to score. Bandits captain Steve Priola adds that Nanticoke is so good when it comes to setting his picks, and he has great spatial awareness on the floor. Guys?
Great stuff, Dave. Happy birthday to Tehoka Nanticoke, 27 years young, coming into this evening's game. Stevie scores most of his goals in the fourth quarter. I guess we have to wait, huh?
Yeah. He also scores some crazy goals on top of the crease. We saw the highlight of him scooping that loose ball with 3 Nighthawks defenders surrounding him. He told me after the game that he could hear the Nighthawks defenders saying, "Where's the ball? Where's the ball?" And he knew that he had a chance to score because they didn't know it was in his stick.
Josh Byrne, the goal scorer for Buffalo, his 10th of the season. And Steve, Dane Smith now, 131 main assists to his buddy, Josh Byrne.
Yeah, and Dane Smith on pace to shatter his assist record for single season. We mentioned in the pregame, he's already got 38 points in just 4 games played. He's on a record pace this year.
Josh Byrne with the ball at the webbing of his stick. Thought he had it. Has to scramble for it, which he does. Whittles it in the webbing, leaving it nicely over to Scanlon. Watch the power play. Shot by Smith, blocked into traffic. Here's a drive that goes wide by Byrne.
Great job there by the Wings, John. They block back-to-back shots while short-handed, and that allows them to get out. But Buffalo forces a loose ball, and the power play might get to go back into action. Nope, the Wings scoop it up.
Brandon O'Neill, the first U.S. player to be selected first overall in the 24 NLL draft from Bayshore, New York. First since 1998 when Rochester selected Casey Powell. There's a drive hard. And Matt Vince meeting that one. Time ticking down on the power play for Buffalo. 15 seconds remaining. Fresh forces from the Buffalo bench, and it's led by Josh Byrne. In the vapor trail is Dane Smith. Into the corner we go, over to McKay with a drive, and Damoud makes the save. The rebound picked up by Philadelphia, and they work it back out to center. Back to full strength Philadelphia is. Ty Merrow, one of the nice writers of NLL, said Philadelphia is the best 5-on-5 team in the league.
Well, that would mean that Buffalo would want to capitalize on their power plays, but as mentioned, that penalty kill by Philadelphia was outstanding.
Dane Smith goes down hard on the turf. He's slow in getting up. Looks like he lost a wheel while the shot goes on to Damoud. Steve, look how deep he stands into the net.
Yeah, Damoud, a big guy, likes to block the ball. And Dave Buchanan mentioned earlier, Damoud was the last goaltender to beat the Bandits 13 games ago.
A sizzling shot by Smith, stopped by Damoud, and the defense picks it up and will start up out at center. 1-0 Buffalo here in the first quarter of play. 7 minutes and 47 seconds remaining. Buffalo leading in shots 8-3. Joey Reseteris with the ball inside the Bandit zone. Takes a couple of hits from a Buffalo defender. Goes back out to the slot area. Now to the far side to Mitch Jones. Jones arms it over to Reseteris. Reseteris with some room, winds up, saved by Matt Vince, and the rebound scooped up by Buffalo. Steve, that's exactly what they want to see.
And Joe Reseteris, John, on his first attempt to shoot there, Sam LaRue, in his first action of the year, took that shooting lane away. Full credit to Sam LaRue.
Josh Byrne with the ball, top of the slot, taking the shot, scores! Big 2 for Josh Byrne.
2 goals for 22. And John, if you're looking at the replay here, the reason Josh Byrne is able to score this goal is a beautiful pick set by Chris Kluche. Kluche washing through the middle, sets a pick for Byrne that allows him to scoot around right out in front of the net and ends up one-on-one with Nick Damoud. And as soon as that ball goes in, Josh Byrne turns and points at Chris Kluche, recognizing that his fellow lefty gave him that shooting lane. 2 goals for Josh Byrne, 7:10 to go in quarter number 1, 2-0 Bandits.
Mentioned earlier, welcome back to Chris Kluche, again missing 2 games. Upper body injury. He said really felt bad missing the banner raising ceremony on the 28th, Steve. He said, I'm eager to get back, and they allowed him to do as such by practicing this week, and he's in the lineup, and as you had mentioned, making the big contribution to Byrne's goal, 2-0 Buffalo. A quick change by Ian Rubel, the head coach, Pat McCready, Tracy Koluski, the associate head coach, leaving Joe Resetarits on his own down into the corner. Resetarits back to the top of the slot with a shot that's blocked into traffic. Rebound to the left side. Buffalo quick. Contribution by the defense, and here's Ian McKay. 2 5-goal performances so far this year. Career high in points last week. McKay shoveling move, leaving it back over to Chase Fraser. Double teamed on the play, getting some help from Dehoka Nanticoke. Nanticoke with his nifty moves, trying to bull his way, but he's taken to the turf, and finally, Isaiah Davis-Allen will get the ball back out for Philadelphia to mid. 2-0 Buffalo. 6 minutes left to play here in the first. End-to-end action we've seen tonight. Joey Resetarits with the ball, far side. Jones with a drive. Oh, check that. Reardon with a drive. Good defense for Buffalo, and here's a break for Cam Wires. Scores! Load the cannons. Cam Wires, his first.
And John, last week, Cam Wires had a breakaway and couldn't finish it. This time makes no mistake with the twister. He baits Nick Damoud over the right shoulder and comes back inside the left corner of the net. That's a goal scorer's goal, John. And Cam Wires with his first of the campaign, and very excited is Cam as he jumps into the glass. Has to feel good, especially getting stopped on the last breakaway attempt he had this year. 5:45 to go in quarter number 1. Bandits 3, Philly still at 0.
Big 6'5", 220-pound defender, his sophomore season. Learned a lot. We're going to hear more from Dave Buchanan about Cam Wires just a couple of moments. Buffalo doing a great job from the draw, controlling not only the game, but the ball now into the Philadelphia zone. Here's Smith with a drive. Damoud with a save, a rebound right to the doorstep. Gets some help from his defenders. Tony Malcolm, former Buffalo Bandit, leaving it back out to center, and now Philadelphia to the line. Joe Resetarits, back-to-back 100-point seasons. First U.S.-born player to achieve that marker in his illustrious 12-year career. Deep into the corner. Trying to get a shot away, can't do it. Leaving it back to the far side with a drive. Saved by Matt Vince. Rebound picked up by Buffalo. And it's cleared back to the right wing side as Dylan Robinson.
That's 3 shots from Brennan O'Neill where he wound up to the rafters, but Matt Vince soaks it up, gathers the rebound. Philadelphia still scoreless.
Buffalo, Josh Byrne, 2 on the night. Here's Smith trying to set up a quick stick over to Chase Fraser, left into the corner. Look at the buck now, and Clay Scanlon doing a nice job. 5 to shoot. Scanlon with a drive. Shoulder save. Damoud. Rebound Buffalo. And resetting the shot clock, Steve.
Yeah, great effort there by Scanlon. That ball hit the official in the corner. Ian McKay digs it out, falls to the ground, flips it to Scanlon, dives out front, gets the reset.
Buffalo with the ball. Leaving it as Buchanan. Byrne setting it up in front there for Smith. He's taken down hard to the right side of Damoud. 7 to shoot for Buffalo, leading this game 3-0. Fraser leaving it over to Smith. Smith now to Byrne with a shot that goes wide. Rebound Buffalo. No time left on manipulating the ball, and we're going to take a timeout. 3 minutes, 56 seconds left to play here in quarter number 1. Buffalo 3, Philadelphia nothing.
I'll handle. The city of Buffalo is located on the traditional territory of the Haudenosaunee people, made up of the 6 sovereign nations: the Mohawk, Oneida, Onondaga, Cayuga, Seneca, and Tuscarora. The NLL acknowledges all nations, indigenous and non, who live, work, and play on this land, and who honor and celebrate this territory. And guys, we saw Cam Wires there get his first NLL goal, and he's become a shot blocking machine since Paul Dawson's arrived here in Buffalo. In his first 12 regular season games, Cam Wires had 8 blocked shots. In the 10 games since Paul Dawson's been here, he's blocked 20 of them. In one of their first games together, Wires says that he blocked a shot with his head and was so encouraged by Dawson to keep up that level of play that Paul Dawson just become one of his role models for him on the Bandits roster.
That's good stuff, taking a shot in the head. Dawson said, come on, let's go. Here's Philadelphia with a shot on. And Vince with the save. How about Dawson, Steve, coming into the CB's game with 11 soakers? He should have his own soaker school.
That's Vince's buddy, too, because don't forget, many years together in Rochester where Paul Dawson did the same thing. And on the penalty kill, Dawson on Vince's right, Wires on his left, blocking shots.
Buffalo down into the Philadelphia zone, leading it 3-0. Josh Byrne leaving it back over to the far side. Shot by Fraser on. Walked into traffic, however, and picked up by Philadelphia. They storm back out at center. An onslaught of wings inside the Bandit zone. Trying to gear it up as Joey Reseteris from the left side. 13 points this season against Vegas. 22 shots last week in his 2-5 effort and their victory over Calgary. Break for Buffalo is a bouncing ball, finding the open stick and forcing it to Nick Weiss. Weiss will just shut it down. The front door opens up, as they call it in this game, where the forwards come out. Scanlon is there along with Buchanan. Also assisting is Kluche from the corner. Low drive of the bull shot. That by Tehoka Nanticoke. I think he's going to get a call on that one. Took a little bit of a swipe with his wicket. Philadelphia with the man advantage. Joe Reseteris leads the way with the man advantage in the formation with his buddy Mitch Jones. Top of the slot as it goes into traffic. Good grouping. Low drive. Wide by Philadelphia. Rebound. There's a quick stick score.
Yeah, the shot clock did expire before that ball went in, but the penalty to Tehoka Nanticoke is going to award Philadelphia possession and a fresh 30-second shot clock.
The birthday boy goes to the penalty box, and here is the call.
Buffalo #1, minor penalty, roughing.
He caught Scott Dominy up high there on the edge of his crease. Put him on his backside without the ball being there, so the penalty called. Philadelphia will go to the power play for the first time this game. Special teams so far, Buffalo 0 for 1 on the power play.
#1 power play in the NLL. Jones will quarterback it. Over and back, couldn't do it, so it's Buffalo's ball. And Steve, you always say, just let the ball weak down into the corner. Find out who's going to get it, and the clock will start then.
Yeah, especially in this situation, John. The Bandits aren't going to hurry or rush anything. Up 3-0 with a minute 46 to go in the penalty. They'll be happy to milk some clock.
Ian McKay with 2 shorthanded goals so far this season. Taking more time off the clock. Dave Buchanan, what about Philadelphia's power play?
Yeah, guys, this is a matchup, the #1 power play in the league for the Philadelphia Wings, and they had a huge game last week in their win against the Calgary Roughnecks. I think they had 3 or 4 power play goals go in, so Buffalo's going to be on their game. Luckily, the Bandits do have the #1 shorthanded penalty killing unit in the NLL.
Joe Resetar's 3 goals, 7 assists with the special teams. Jones 4+5. Holden Catoni 2+7. Got some big sticks out there with the man advantage. They're down 3-0. Top of the slot is Jones, leaving it down to the far side. Jones now to Resetar's. He scores! Finally, the goose egg comes off the scoreboard for Philadelphia on the power play. And as Dave Buchanan said, the #1 power play unit in the NLL.
Who else, John? Joe Resetarits for Mitch Jones. That's exactly what you would think would happen. And I'll tell you, John, Buffalo has been able to keep Philadelphia on the outside with active sticks, slashing hands. But on the power play, Philadelphia has a chance to come in a little bit closer because the Bandits are packed in. So Mitch Jones up top from the shooter spot, winds up a little bit, flips it to Resetarits. Resetarits is able to step down, bounces it past Matt Vince's left arm just inside the post. And as mentioned, the Wings finally on the board. 51 seconds to go here in quarter #1.
Philadelphia from the draw and control of the ball. See if anybody comes out of the net. They moved if he does or not. The extra attacker, but great defense by Buffalo, and they've got the ball. Screwing up as Thomas Whitty right to the restraining line of Buffalo. Or check that, Philadelphia. Kyle Buchanan tipping it off now over to Josh Byrne. Byrne from the right side. Leaves it to the top of the slot. Buchanan very quickly over to Dane Smith. Smith to Buchanan with the drive. Damoud with a save. The rebound trickles in front. Damoud is there. Uses the turf to get it off, and quickly with 10 seconds remaining, Philadelphia very quick in doing it. And let's see here.
They opted to take a timeout. Yeah. Surprised there wasn't a loose ball push there out in front as Buchanan was fishing for the rebound. But without that, Philadelphia scoops up possession. And interestingly, not in the second quarter, in the first quarter, with 8 seconds to go, Philadelphia opting to take a timeout. They're going to leave Damoud on the bench here, so they're going to opt for a 6-on-5 set. They'll kill 1 or 2 seconds off the clock before they run their offensive play. And John, they're holding for last possession now, and they're going to try to make it a 3-2 game. Maybe a good idea to take a timeout, right, John, to slow things down. They may not get this opportunity in the second quarter to have last possession, so now they can draw up exactly what they want to try to make this a 1-goal game before the break.
And it's perfect timing in the game of lacrosse with 10.2 seconds remaining. They've got time to set the play, and certainly the guns to do it.
And as always, John, we'll see them take 3 seconds or so off the clock. They'll run a set in 6 or 7 seconds. They don't want to go too fast with the empty net the other way, because if they take a shot, Buffalo comes up with the rebound. You don't want to give Buffalo time to fire a ball at the empty net.
Sam LeClaire will take it from mid. Received by the official, goes to the far side, left down into the far corner of the Buffalo zone. 5 seconds remaining, shot on, blocked into traffic. Guess who? Paul Dawson. A little bit of discussions going on right now. We have no time left on the clock, and some milling around, and finally Todd LeBranche, the crew chief tonight, telling everybody to go to the respective benches and take a little bit of a breather. How about Josh Byrne with 2 goals tonight so far in the game, and congratulating everybody for their effort in the first quarter. Buffalo with a 3-1 lead over Philadelphia after the first quarter of play. NLL Plus is here and free. The league's new streaming service offers fans around the world access to live games, full game replays, highlights, and exclusive content. You can sign up today at NLL.com/plus. Here's Dave.
Thanks, John. With head coach John Tavares. John, you got Chris Cloutier back, but you left Clay Scanlon back in the lineup. What has he shown you in these first couple of games to keep him a spot on the roster?
Who, Clay?
Yes.
Well, he's a water bug out there. A guy never stops working, great on loose balls. That's a lot of picks, and he has the ability to score goals when given the opportunity.
Philly's got the #1 power play in the league. They do have one on you tonight. What does your penalty kill need to do to slow them down?
Well, one, we got to stay out of the box, right? We talked about not taking penalties 200 feet away from our net because of that very reason. So that right now is the only thing that's cost us. We got to stay out of the box as much as possible.
Thanks, John.
Thank you.
Guys.
Dave, John, thank you. Steve, numbers.
Yeah, as mentioned, Philly 1 for 1 on the power play. The Bandits 0 for 1. Shots on goal, 15-11 in favor of the Bandits. Byrne leading all runners with 2 points on those 2 goals he notched in the first quarter.
Philadelphia immediately into the Bandits zone here in the second quarter of play, wasting little time and moving the ball quite well. Catoni with the ball, leaving it back to the top of the slot. Jones with a shot, but it's blocked by Buffalo's defense. Forced all the way back out at center. The Bandits ball and over and back charge.
He saved it, but he flipped it into the corner. The shot clock ran out. So Buffalo does get possession.
Here's Josh Byrne with the ball from the top of the slot. Dane Smith leaving it down into the corner. Al Buchanan leaving it back over to Byrne, flipping it to the side. And Steve, like John said, they want to use as much of the shot clock as they can.
Yeah, take advantage of that, make sure the ball's staying hot and moving, and a chance there right up top. But give credit to Philadelphia's defense, John. Another play broken up.
Coming in across the line, a shot that's blocked by one. Matt Vince. Ball is cleared back out to center. Left back over to Spanger, who rates at the restraining line of Philadelphia. Left wing pass now over to Fraser. Fraser with some room to move. He's got Nanacoke with him. Back to Fraser. Fraser with a drive. He scores! I said it this morning in the radio pregame show that this could be Fraser's coming out party for 24-25.
Yeah, Fraser and Nanacoke play a little give and go. Fraser's down low, Nanacoke up top. And when Fraser gets the return pass, he and Nanacoke switch, and that gives Nanacoke an ability to kind of set a pick. He doesn't set an official pick, but he takes 2 defenders with him, and then Fraser lines up, and the laser from Fraser gives Buffalo their 3-goal lead back a minute and a half into the second quarter.
14 goals by Tate Fraser against the Philadelphia Wings. His illustrious career. How about this? The Milkman. Connor Farrell leaving it over to Dane Smith. Smith getting battered by 2 defenders and pushed all the way into the end boards. Scooping it out. Buffalo's got it. We'll have a penalty coming up against the Wings. Score! The sprint by Matt Vince was for naught.
Great defense by Philadelphia to take Josh Byrne out of the play as 2 Philadelphia defenders hit him up against the boards, but they took a penalty in the process, and Dane able to kick it back out to Chris Cloutier, John, who ran all the way to the wrong side of the floor. Chris Cloutier, as a lefty, comes all the way to our near side boards to give Dane Smith that outlet. And then lo and behold, Josh Byrne coming from that left side takes the feed, makes no mistake, stings the corner, and the first half hat trick for Josh Byrne has Buffalo up 5-1.
Boy, his strings are tight tonight, that's for sure. Speaking of strings, I found it interesting, Steve, in tonight's warm-up of Dane Smith, the last one out all the time to the dressing room, that is, and he has Casey Dura, one of the assistant equipment managers, setting him up with shot after shot after shot.
Yeah, Casey just feeds him over until Dane Smith is done. It might be 10 shots, it might be 20, whatever that routine is. Number 92, always the last one on the floor for Buffalo when warm-ups end, and he always tunes up the stick with those shots.
Here comes Philadelphia down into the Buffalo zone. Mitch Jones teaming up now. Holding Catoni out in front. A shot right on. Big save by Matt Vince. Point blank at the doorstep. And Buffalo storms right back out at center. Here is Nick Weiss with a drive. David with a save. Score. Rebound.
Another transition goal for Steve Priolo and Nick Weiss. And this time it's Priolo cleaning up and shoveling home the rebound. Weiss and Priolo pushed in transition. That's how Buffalo won the game last week. Nick Weiss with the game winner. Weiss shoots high to low. Ball pops up to the right of Nick Demuth. Steve Priolo scoops the loose ball and pots it into the empty net. Buffalo opens their largest lead of the game, and I think we're going to have a goaltender change here, John.
Oh, dynamic duo of one. Nick Weiss along with Steve Priolo, his first of the regular season. Earned 3 assists last week in the win over Toronto. And Nick Demuth will get a little bit of a rest. And Deacon Knott comes in, just played 8.5 minutes so far this season, stopping all 6 shots, so Steve is 100%.
We'll see what he can do here in relief.
Farrell winning the draw, taking it to the restraining line of Philadelphia. He'll dash to the bench. Fire wagon change for Buffalo. The forwards come back out. Byrne with the ball over to a running Dane Smith. Skipping to the right side of Knott.
Dominy knocked that away, John. A clean pickpocket there for Scott Dominy right out of Dane Smith's stick.
Extra attacker out of this turf. I don't see.
They're switching goalies back, John. Knott to the bench and Demuth running back to the net.
There's a shot on by Philadelphia, rebound along the boards. Dave, what about the transition? What happened down there?
Guys, this was expected. I think they had already used their timeout, so they needed a way to kill some time, so that's why they made the goalie swap. And Nick Demuth didn't even take his equipment off. He knew he was going right back in because Pat McCready told him.
Frazier with a shot. Pat saved by Demuth. Rebound into the far corner. Buffalo resetting the shot clock. Byrne from the top of the slot, leaving it to the far side now. Left into the corner for Scanlon. Now to Buchanan with a drive. Score! Byrne.
Demuth got most of this one, but not enough. Josh Byrne lets the heavy shot go from the middle as Kyle Buchanan feeds him, and Byrne falling away rips a sidearm shot. And Demuth gets a good chunk of it and thinks he has it. And as he sits down, the ball squirts through his legs and rolls into the back of the net. And John, we've seen this a few times from the Bandits. Good awareness by players without the ball staying out of the crease, right? Because if they go in the crease before that ball goes in, the goal wouldn't count. So a good job there by Buffalo, 7-1. 11 minutes to play in the first half.
On 21 shots. Buffalo again down to the Philadelphia zone. Dane Smith tried to thread the needle over to Steve Priolo, being a part of the big offensive rush. Here's a drive out in front right to the doorstep of Nick Demuth. Ball is picked up by Philadelphia, and there's a rush back out at center. Philadelphia coming into this evening's game averaging 14.8 points per game. Buffalo at 15. So far, Buffalo's advantage at the 7-1 score here in the second. Twirling is Jones. Far side play was set up intended for Terrace. Good defense by Buffalo. And here's a twirl and a break for Buffalo. 4-on-2. There's a shot. Score!
John, is that Josh Byrne and Dane Smith or Cam Wires and Paul Dawson? Cam Wires with a one-handed loose ball in front of his own net, and he hit the pirouette and actually put one of the wings forwards on their wallet with the spin move. The Bandits come down 4-on-3. Wires flips to Paul Dawson, who tiptoes the edge of the crease and goes to the far post. Buffalo up 8-1. 10:05 to play in the first half. Another goaltending change, and John, the Bandits have the freight train running early.
Man, big time semis. Cam Wires and one Paul Dawson. 6'5" each, 225 pounds each. Here's Buffalo trying to get the ball away. Sammy LaRue tackling one of the players down. I think he got it wrapped up with his stick, but he's going to go to the box and serve for 2. 22 shots to Philadelphia's 14, and Buffalo with an 8-1 lead. Here is the call.
Buffalo number 12, minor penalty holding.
Time ticks down here in the second quarter. Buffalo storming again.
We're here to sweat the details, to test and retest. Because when you're known for speed and reliability inside, you need to deliver speed and reliability outside, in all kinds of weather, all year round. Because if it can handle all of this, it can definitely handle this. Introducing Eero Outdoor 7. Eero, the way Wi-Fi should be.
Welcome back to KeyBank Center. I'm here with Wings head coach Ian Rubel. Coach, what was the message to the team when you got everybody together while you were switching netminders?
We just got to weather the storm. We knew this was coming. We know lacrosse is a game of runs. We got to find ours. We got to stop here.
What do you think you can change with the offense to maybe get them going a little bit here?
We got to trust one another.
Thanks, Coach. Guys?
Big coaching change this past season by Philadelphia. Paul Day, an original Bandit, stepping down as head coach, remains as general manager. Ian Rubel, 10 years in the NLL, 3 rings with Toronto. Pat McCready along with Tracy Koleski, part of the coaching staff, made quite a difference coming into this evening's game with a 4-1 record. Their only loss was back on December 1st against, who did they lose to? Vegas. Anyway, score by Philadelphia.
And John, the lethal power play goes right to work. This ball movement by Philadelphia, outstanding. Around the horn they go. Ball goes from up top from the shooter spot to Blaze Reardon, who's down on the crease. And a late slide by Cam Wires gives Reardon a chance to fire from the impossible angle, standing right on the goal line, able to go short side on Matt Vince. He can't get over there. Wires kind of looking to block the shot from up top. Doesn't see Reardon leaking down low behind him. John, this power play is incredible, wasting no time there to give Philadelphia their second goal.
Blaze Reardon, his 9th of the season, 35th goal against Buffalo since leaving the Bandits.
And a goalie out in the field game.
Yeah.
Plays forward here in the box and plays goal out in the field.
Hell of a goalie. Here's Buffalo, doorstep shot. Save off the side, picked up now by Philadelphia and storming back out. We don't have to think too far date-wise, Steve. Remember when Albany had an 8-1 lead over Colorado last week, and Colorado came back to defeat Albany.
A few comebacks too.
Another shot on. Matt Vince with the save. Rebound goes along the netting. Reset of the shot clock and Philadelphia's ball. 8-2 Buffalo here in the second quarter of play. Catoni from the corner. Over to Jones. There is O'Neill with a shot. He scores! Brennan O'Neill. And John Leclerc. I get him mixed up with the hot shoes that they have. Sam Leclerc.
Mitch Jones feeds Leclerc out in front, and while he's being checked by Thomas Whitty, he has his back to the net, and he opts just to flip it, and it bounces off Steve Priolo, hits Matt Vince, and ends up in the net. So that might be the detriment of blocking shots, John, if you don't get a clean block and it deflects off of you and goes in. But what an effort from Sam LeClaire, shedding off the check from Thomas Whitty, flipping the ball on the backhand, and it trickles into the net.
Well, Philadelphia has extinguished a 5-goal run by Buffalo and has established a mini run right now. And a scramble for the ball finds Philadelphia after the draw, their possession. And here they come back down into Bandit territory from the top of the slot. Jones back behind it as it fires along the inboards. You heard the impact of that one. Gattoni leaving it now to the far side. Philadelphia leaving it back over to the top of the slot, intended for Reardon, but he couldn't handle it, and Buffalo breaks out with a 3-on-2. That's broken up because a shift change now into effect as that front door for Buffalo allows the forwards to come back out. Nick Weiss relieved of his duties as Dane Smith now into possession. Far side over to Josh Byrne. Byrne with a shot on. Big save and picked up by Philadelphia and cleared back out. Here's Philadelphia from the far corner. Joe Resetarith waits for the shift change to get into completion. Ball picked up now by Philadelphia, storming in close. Good ball movement by the wings down into the Bandit zone. 7 to shoot. There's a shot on, saved by Matt Vince. Oh boy. That's big time save on Brennan O'Neill.
That's O'Neill's 4th good look of the game, and Vince has had his number so far.
Buffalo very quickly in their ball movement down to the Philadelphia zone, waiting for the completion of change. And it will be Kyle Buchanan. Buchanan back over to Fraser with a drive that goes wide. Rebound picked up by Philadelphia. Here we go, Steve. A lot of end-to-end action. Second half of the second quarter.
Sorry, John. He did not seem to have calmed him down a little bit. He's been in net for a bit, made a couple of saves. Wings getting some more possessions, getting some good looks.
Fans here at KeyBank Center chanting the defense as Philadelphia gets closer to Matt Vince. A miscue on the ball, and it'll be Bandits possession down into the Philadelphia zone. 6:37 remaining here in the second quarter. 8-3 Buffalo. Ball dug up by Ian McKay. Hidden ball, nope. Leaving it back over to Dane Smith, who finds Dehoka Nanako. This is his favorite position. Watch him move. Nanako twists and turns. Ball rushes his way. Elects to go to the passing into the far corner to Chris Kluche. Kluche now leaving it back over to Byrne. Byrne to Smith. Smith shooting it. Save. Philadelphia, and the rebound picked up. The rebound. Nanako. Oh, he looks for anything. Broken eggs, whatever you got. Nanako's got it.
And Deacon not again. Look, another nice save, keeping that ball out twice on the original shot by Dane Smith and Dehoka Nanako.
Building up the minutes for Knott coming into this evening's game. Just 8 minutes played. 6 shots on, 6 saves. That's before he went in to face the Bandits. Now ball picked up by the Bandits. Kem Wires wheeling it back out to center. Carrying it up as one Matt Spanger. And now left it for Josh Byrne. Byrne has got Fraser to his left. Fraser now with the ball from the slot area, leaving it to Byrne with a drive. He scores! Buffalo Fire Department, pumper 12 in service. They might as well just stay in the parking lot.
And Josh Byrne, hotter than a pistol, his 5th goal of the first half. Still 5:24 to play. We saw Keegan Ball get a sock trick in 1 quarter last week for Vancouver in the 4th. Byrne has a bid for a sock trick here in the first half. Buffalo up 9-3, also stopping the mini run for Philadelphia there. After a 5-goal run by Buffalo, a 2-goal run by Philadelphia, the Bandits respond.
We haven't seen too many dirty socks out on the turf here in Bandit Land, have we?
No.
Ball Buffalo. Ian McKay. 5 goals last week. There's a shot, score! Smiles continue.
John, where's the ball? The old hidden ball trick. We last saw the Bandits pull that off in game 2 of the championship against Albany. This time it's Ian McKay off the bench, and no one knew he had the ball. Deacon not looking up top. McKay standing over by the front door of the Bandits bench realized that he's the only one that knows where the ball is, and he lets it fly, and Deacon not even looking in the correct direction. Buffalo up 10-3.
Loves that goal song by the Tragically Hip. Leave it up to the poets. He is one tonight. Top of the slot is Dane Smith. Smith now to the doorstep, intended for Buchanan, who scats back for the rebound from the corner, picked up by Buffalo. Shoveling move, Smith shoots it, hits the goal post to the side of Knott. Rebound Buffalo, resetting the shot clock. Simmering down. Dane Smith with Buchanan. Nifty move by Buchanan, allowing Smiths to move. Elects to go back over to Byrne. Hang on here.
Penalty coming up here to Philly. Scanlon got dumped.
Very quick to the bench goes Scanlon. Out is McKay to relieve him. Fraser now Smith. Smith Scott scored!
Well, the Bandits are shooting well, to put it lightly, tonight, John. A 6-on-5 as Scanlon had a penalty drawn and trotted to the bench, as you mentioned, a little banged up from the hit that he took. Dane Smith able to walk down and bounce it past Deacon Knott on his left-hand side. 2 hop steps and a shot around Anthony Jochum and around Knott. The Bandits have an 8-goal lead here, 4:16 to play in the first half.
Shooting 38% from the floor here in the first half of the Buffalo big lead. It's not a fluke, Steve. I mean, no. Exceptional playmaking by Buffalo in this game.
Yeah, and the ability to finish, right? Just great shots to great spots and finishing their looks. I mentioned that Vince has turned away Brendan O'Neill 4 times, and that's kind of the difference here, that the good looks for Philadelphia have been turned away and Buffalo's been able to finish.
Wynn's trying to thread the needle, but Buffalo storms in. A 2-on-0. Not with the save. You had picked it there with Dylan Robinson. You'd mentioned that this morning, Steve, about Robinson being a part of the transition and taking it all the way in, which he'd had an opportunity to do so. Shot on by Philadelphia. Matt Vince is there to make the save. Another storm by Buffalo back out to center. In over the line is Nick Weiss. Weiss, currently 7-game scoring streak. Josh Byrne from the corner. Everybody's starting to peel off their socks. There's a try by Fraser.
Knott's feeling that one, John. Knott is feeling that one.
Fraser now behind the net. One arm leaving it out in front. Then the Cook with a drive that goes wide. Rebound Buffalo. Bouncing into the stick again. Fraser losing it. Picked up by Philadelphia. Isaiah Davis-Allen with the ball, getting it out of his own zone, and now Philadelphia countering back out at center.
Not still shaking it off, John. That shot, I think, caught him right in the chin, maybe the front of the face mask. Seems to be okay, though.
There's a shot by Philadelphia. They score! Joey Resetarits putting in 2 on the evening and trying to stoke his team back into this game.
Resetarits steps in and gets a pick, and as Ian McKay tries to spin around the pick, Whitty can't get out quickly enough, and Resetarits gets room to shoot over the top, and this hit Matt Vince and squeaked through anyway. Just a great heavy shot from Joey Resetarits. 11-4 Buffalo with 2:31 to play in the half. 15 goals in the first half, and it's not even over yet, John.
14th of the season for Resetarits. His 12th season, and now we've got Buffalo from the draw. Will capture it out at center. Dean Smith right at the restraining line of Philadelphia. In those fluorescent lime shoes. Over to Byrne with a drive. He scores! Here come the Sox.
Well, Josh Byrne connects for the sock trick in the first half. That's 6 goals on 8 shots for number 22. And man, is he feeling it. Byrne takes the pass from his buddy Dane Smith, takes 1 stride down, lets it rip over the top, bar down. 6 goals for Josh Byrne in the first half, gives the Bandits their 8-goal lead back, 12-4. And now the Crew's scooping up the socks off the turf.
Haven't seen it too often here in Buffalo. People like to possess their socks with the freezing temperatures outside. But when you get a performance like Josh Byrne, what the heck, peel them off and throw them out. And for those of you doing the game maybe for the first time or have never seen a sock trick, when a player scores 6 goals, you peel your socks off and it's called a sock trick. So the Crew's out there trying to clean things up. Dave, any conversations that you can capture from the Philadelphia bench versus the Buffalo bench and what's going on?
Yeah, I mean, guys, the Philly bench, they started to come back to life when they got those 2 goals back-to-back, but things have gone real quiet once again on the Philly bench. Ian Rubel, Pat McCready, Tracy Kluski trying to keep their troop spirits up a little bit. But obviously, it's hard in this building when the Bandits go on a run like they're prone to do, and you get 17,000, 18,000 as loud as they are. It's hard to battle through it, and you heard Ian Rubel when I talked to him. They just got to weather the storm, and that's kind of what they're going through. Obviously, spirits are high on the Bandits bench. I think the high point might have been Cam Wires and Paul Dawson's goals whenever those big boys managed to score. That obviously lifts up the whole bench because it's not often they find the back of the net.
A pan of the Buffalo bench. Conversations continue with respective players while we focus into the face-off circle at center. Connor Farrell popping the ball up, and it's picked up by Sammy LaRue into the lineup for the first time this year.
John Farrell, 12 of 16 on draws. Good start there for the Milkman.
Byrne and Smith combined together. Smith with his turn, leaving it back, score! Kluche.
Welcome back to the lineup, Chris Kluche, one of the few forwards without a goal yet. Chris Kluche jumps in on the goal parade. Dane Smith turns around, looking to the middle, trying to see who's there, and it is Chris Kluche with his stick up, ready for the pass, and he catches and quickly fires it on net, and it gets behind Knott. Minute 47 to play, 13-4. John, we might have 4 goals left in this half for all we know. 17 so far, including a sock trick.
.145 remaining here in the second quarter of play. We're going to take this time out so everybody can collect their breath. Buffalo 13, Philadelphia 4.
The NLL is now on the ESPN app. Download the app or visit ESPN.com for the latest news, schedule, and scores. Chase Frazier on the score sheet with a goal and 4 assists tonight. And of course, last week against Toronto, he scored the huge game-tying goal for the Buffalo Bandits in the fourth quarter. But really, guys, before that, it looked like whenever Chase had the ball and had a chance to shoot, it looked like he would give it up to pass it off instead. And I asked John Tavares about that after the game, and he agreed that Chase was a little gun-shy before that huge goal last week against the Rock, but he made sure to commend him for his efforts in his post-game speech after the Bandits won last week against Toronto.
So far, so good day for Chase Frazier. A goal and 4 assists, you had mentioned. 5 shots on goal. A couple of loose balls to go. 1:34 left to play here in the first half. Philadelphia with the ball down into the Buffalo zone. O'Neal with the ball. He was in the crease area. Steve, the roster page on the notes from Philadelphia says O'Neal while Buffalo knocks on the door. Shot on. O'Neal 6'2", 250.
That's a big guy, and you could tell when he squares up with the defender. The Bandits have some big defenders back there. It looked like a goal for the Wings, comes off on a crease violation. The Bandits have some big defenders back there, and Brendan O'Neal makes them look small. He is a very big guy and also super athletic. We saw him drive the crease there. He just got called for the crease violation before he passed it across.
Buffalo with the ball down into the Philadelphia zone. Buchanan leaving it high over for Byrne, who collects it from the corner. Scurries around one of the officials. Shoveling move. Slot shot. That by Chris Kluche. Comes back out at center. Steve, look at the forechecking of Buffalo.
Yeah, Kyle Buchanan. Who else going after a loose ball? And John, I think Josh Byrne is starting to give the ball up a little bit. He's had some looks, and he's passing it instead, not trying for a 7th goal in the half. I've had 2 looks for Josh Byrne that he's passed off.
Holden Catoni leaving the ball back out in front for Reseteras. Tried to set it up. Now there's a shot by Catoni. Hits the end boards. Rebound! Jones wide. Reseteras skirts on the turf. Extra attacker ready to come out. Mitch Jones, top of the slot, looking to wind it up. There's a feed pass. Score! Philadelphia!
That's going to be Sam LeClaire flying off the bench. Not hustles to the back door. LeClaire flies out the front door, and a nice flip to the middle finds him, and the Bandits have trouble kind of identifying where he is because he's the extra attacker, right? He finds that high-price real estate right in the middle of the Bandits' defense, and with 3 seconds to go, gives Philadelphia their 5th goal, and that's a good momentum builder for the Wings going into halftime to score that goal as time was winding down in the half.
You can guarantee this, even with the coaching staff of Ian Rubel, Tracy Kowalski, along with Pat McCready, these guys will not quit. They've got the word from the respective coaches. They're going to get back into this game, and they're trying to do it right now. We go to halftime with Buffalo leading it 13-5, but Steve, Philadelphia coming on pretty strong.
Yeah, they've been able to stop the Bandits' runs. We saw not give them a little bit of a reprieve in that. He made a couple of saves for him. And that goal with 3 seconds to go certainly is the momentum builder. If you're Philadelphia, that's all you can ask for with that last possession of the half.
Players filing over to the dressing room, trying to get the capture now of the star of the game so far. He's got a whole new drawer of socks. Dave Buchanan with Josh Byrne.
Josh, 6 goals in that first half, but how much of that is due to the fact that you've got Chris Kluche back on the left side tonight?
You know, he's definitely a shot of energy for us. You know, he's one of my best friends, and he works his ass off, so super happy to see him back out.
You guys continue to score in bunches. How much do you feed off of not only the crowd, but also the job Connor Farrell does in that faceoff circle?
It's massive. You know, Connor's doing his thing. You know, defense is crushing it. You know, V's always standing on his head. So, you know, our offense is buzzing, and you know, it's a lot of fun to be a part of.
Thanks, Josh.
Thank you,
guys.
Burning down the house tonight. Josh Byrne, 6 goals, 2 assists, 8 total points. What a great night so far for the Bandits in Bandit Land. Honky tonk, it's gonna be. Come on. We're two big guys. Oh, honky-tonk in Bandit land tonight, and the fans, Buffalo Bandits, have built a 13-5 lead over the Philadelphia Wings. It's going to be a great second half indeed. John Gertler with you this evening here at halftime. Thanks again for joining us on the television. Brett Frood, the NLL commissioner, also here tonight. And let's just take a collective breath right at the moment, Brett. Quite a game we're seeing.
Pretty good, huh? It's pretty clear who's still at the top of the food chain.
Darn right. Brett, you have been a part of this game and the passion. You already played the game, a captain at Brown University. You coached the game. You continually watch the NLL action with so much passion. Give us your assessment so far this year of this NLL season.
Yeah, it's been a good one. A lot of competition, and as I just mentioned, we have a pretty good team down there right now, and pretty clear they want to keep that trophy. And a lot of folks chasing right now, and it's been a fun season. Right now, if we started the playoffs, 5 of 8 teams weren't in the playoffs last year.
Wow,
so
that's a big change.
Yeah, dog-eat-dog world out there.
Who do you think right now will be the underdog to come on strong in the second half of the season? We haven't reached anything in the first half, but certainly there'll be a sleeper in the NLL this year. Does somebody come on strong?
Yeah, listen, I know this may be cliche, but every goal really does matter. And you look at, look at the finalists last year, Albany. They've lost several games in overtime, right? I think goal differential, probably on the positive. And then you've got Toronto. You saw them last weekend.
Yep.
Great team, and don't have a win yet. So I think you're going to see those teams starting to get momentum, and it's going to be crazy down the wire to who's going to make these playoffs.
Brett, the NLL made news last week, going viral with a fight in Buffalo here against Toronto. Nothing new, big rivalry happening right at the moment, but certainly going viral. There was just a massive amount of hits and responses, and talking about NLL rhetoric and whatnot like that. Brett, face to face, your views about fighting and to build the game with the fans that are looking for as such.
Yeah, it was a lot of momentum this week, right? A lot of news, and we had a lot of new followers. For us, it's just opportunity to harness it. And a lot of people's eyes certainly on the NLL this week and hopefully this weekend in the games. But the reality is, for all the fans out there that have watched us, we're a tough league. It's intense every week.
Yeah.
It's brutal, physicality, and we love that. And occasionally there are fights, and that's part of it. But it certainly doesn't define us. I think you look at last weekend, we had 28 goals. Many were spectacular. Mm-hmm. We had 18,000 people here watching it. So we're, for me, it's a league of intensity. It's physicality. It's skill. And yeah, we'll certainly have some fights along the way, but it's certainly not at the epicenter of our DNA.
Now, those fans that are wanting more NLL action, to see the great goal scoring, the good hits, great playmaking that fans are seeing this evening, give us a rundown of what the league is doing in order to satisfy those fans and your expansion of this game, not only here in Buffalo and other NLL cities, but also on television.
Yeah, well, ideally we can get them here. When I say here, venues, our 14 venues, whether it's here, Vancouver, Calgary, San Diego, Las Vegas, because it's the best place to consume it. The challenge is we have 14 markets. We don't have 30, we don't have 40. So in the meantime, if you can't get there, you can't get to one of our arenas and watch this great sport, then we have to rely on our media partners, and we have great ones. And we've got TSN certainly in Canada with their linear and their streaming, and then here certainly our great partner with ESPN, and then our local partners in each of the venues. And then exciting news this year with our NLL Plus product, which gives everyone, certainly from a global standpoint, the ability to consume our games either live or on tape. So at the end of the day, it's touch points, it's distribution, and hopefully they see it, and then when they're in an arena or near one, they can get there, and it'll help us with our expansion.
How could they not love a game like tonight between the Buffalo Bandits and Philadelphia Wings? Superstars galore in this league, and a young superstar just budding as Brendan O'Neill, a young guy from Bayshore, New York, the first ever U.S. player since 2008, or 1998, when Casey Powell became the first U.S.-born player to be selected first overall. Your evaluation of his play, and how can he draw more field players on his level to come to this NLL from the United States?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, we're extremely proud to have the world's best lacrosse players as part of this league. And, you know, there are some great American players that have been in this league. And you talked about Casey and the Reggie Thorpes, and then this current day who's in the league now. And you got Resiteritz playing here, right? And you got Hannah, and there's a number of players, Trevor Baptiste. The list goes on. And certainly we've got Brennan here. It's hard. It's hard to be in this league, especially with the American field players. It's just a different philosophy, a different feel. What's really amazing is, from my perspective, watching him from week to week, is his development. Where he's gone over the last 4 weeks is amazing. So it's great. He's, you know, it's this crossover. He is well known. He's been, you know, since 8th grade we've been hearing about Brennan O'Neill, and he's getting it done in this league. So hopefully, you know, it nurtures the next wave of these American field players. But it isn't easy. It's a lot of hard work, and a lot of them are playing in Canada now during the summer, and we're excited to have them.
I always go off the coattails with Randy Mearns, who's head coach of St. Bonaventure University. You want to play this game on the field, you got to play box, boys. You got to play box. It makes you better. Brett Fruit, great thanks.
Thank you.
Coverage continues tonight here from Buffalo. Off camera. Big action tonight in the National Lacrosse League. Steve, let's go through the scoreboard.
Yeah, we had Ottawa and Vancouver in a tight game last night. Ottawa comes out on top 9-8. Saskatchewan and Toronto. Toronto looking for that first win of the year, up 9-6. Rochester and Halifax, a final. Rochester over Halifax 10-9. Colorado leading Albany 8-7 in the third. Georgia and Calgary, 9 o'clock start tonight. Saturday at 10 o'clock, San Diego and Las Vegas. Philadelphia will have the second game of the weekend, of their weekend, Monday at 5 o'clock as they host the Vancouver Warriors.
Here in Buffalo, a great performance tonight so far for Josh Burns, 6 goals. Before we begin the second half of tonight's game, we want to take a moment to say our hearts are with everyone impacted by the devastating wildfires in Southern California. Those displaced from their homes, those facing uncertainty, and the communities working to rebuild. We also want to express our deepest gratitude to the courageous first responders, firefighters, emergency personnel, and volunteers who are risking their lives to protect others and preserve our communities. Tonight we stand in solidarity with Southern California and send our support and strength to all those affected. Thank you for joining us in recognizing the resilience of our communities and the bravery of those on the front lines. Help people affected by the California wildfires in 2025. Donate at redcross.org/ESPN. And I speak from the heart, my daughter in the production design business in Hollywood, saved from her home, living in Highland Park, but her dear sweet friend lost her home. Such devastating stories. Back to action for the second half of play. Score! 14 on the board.
Late in the shot clock, this ball finds Chase Fraser, who takes a step back, leans back forward around Jordan Sturos and is able to sneak this one just inside the post. Nick Damu back in net for Philadelphia, and the first shot he sees ends up in the net, and another for Fraser gives Buffalo a 9-goal lead.
A ton of time left, Steve, and to set the stage for Philadelphia in order to get back into this game, give the viewers and listeners a page of what they need to do in order to keep the intensity.
Yeah, I think it'd be helpful to win a couple face-offs. I mean, to get some more possessions, because Buffalo, having just scored, has the ball and is threatening again. And then you have to find a way to go on a run, whether that's using a power play goal to start it up, or just getting some 5-on-5 goals would be crucial as well. So it starts with one, and then getting some extra possessions, whether that's from a defensive stop or a face-off win.
Let's see what happens here with Philadelphia possessing the ball down into the Bandit zone. Quick shot, save, rebound, hit the goal post left side of Bandits.
LeClaire looking for his hat trick, hit the goal post.
Transition extraordinaire, Buffalo with a drive right in front. Nick Weiss and Steve Priolo's teaming up together.
Nick Weiss catches that ball, freezes for a second, runs in, tries the bouncer, but it ends up over the net and into the safety netting. Wings awarded possession.
14-5, Buffalo here in the third quarter of play. Joey Resetarits with the ball. He's got some room, takes the shot. Vince got a piece of that one. Rebound, Philadelphia blocked into traffic. And Dylan Robinson has got the ball and finds an opening to Ian McKay.
Another chance for Brennan O'Neill. That one blocked out front by the Bandits defense, but the young superstar, unable to find the back of the net so far.
Josh Byrne with the ball, top of the slot. Feed pass over to Dane Smith. Smith leaving it over to Buchanan. Kluche coming in. Shot goes wide. 5 seconds left on the shot clock. Philadelphia's ball. Fans chanting they want 15. In over the line for Philadelphia. Tony Malcolm with a shot, former Buffalo Bandit.
And John, that's what Philadelphia can't do, right? Their offense is still getting out on the floor. They take a shot from way outside in transition. Matt Vince eats it up and the ball goes the other way.
Clay Scanlon with the ball. Top of the slot, Byrne. Smith behind the net, Buchanan. Buchanan shooting it. Damu with the save. The rebound scooped up by Philadelphia. Here we go, Steve. Like we had mentioned at the beginning of tonight's game, was it going to turn into an end-to-end action game or a duel of goaltending? So far, end-to-end.
Yeah, it's been back and forth for sure. Like I said, Buffalo's finishing their chances, though. That's been the biggest difference.
Joey Resetarits to the far side over to Mitch Jones. Jones getting closer to Matt Vince. His pass goes askew. Great defense by Buffalo. However, stolen by Resetarits. He takes a pass over that to Brennan O'Neill, who got one, a shoulder save by Matt Vincent. Here come the Bandits. Ian McKay with the ball. Shift on the transitionary process. McKay remains a part of the Storm, down into the Philadelphia zone. Bull rushing his way as Nanacoke to the floor. Fans want a call, but nothing doing, in Philadelphia out of their own zone.
Nanacoke tried to back down two defenders there, but good, strong defense. And Tyler Burton able to come up with the loose ball.
In over the restraining line of Buffalo, Philadelphia comes a shot straight on, face to face. Blaze Reardon with that one. Matt Vince is there, and very quickly Buffalo in the transition. Steve Priolo overplays the ball. Isaiah Davis-Allen is there along the boards. He's getting him some help from Patton, but Buffalo steals the ball.
Great offensive play by Dylan Robinson. His pass was too high for Priolo, and Dylan Robinson digs out the loose ball to get the Bandits offense out on the floor.
Smith and Byrne twirl together. Errant pass, that one intended for Scanlon. He does a nice job forechecking, but Philadelphia comes up with the ball. Davis-Allen is there, leaves it to Patton. Patton will, along with Allen, goes to the bench, and the forwards come right back out. Joey Resetarits from the left wing side, tipping it over to the top of the slot. Shot on goal, scored by Philadelphia, and a good wind-up by Holden Cantoni, who I think is on the scoreboard for the first time tonight.
That's right, John. Another goal from Philadelphia's lefties. Cantoni's able to run across the restraining line. Paul Dawson's out there and gets both hands held up trying to take this shooting lane away, but he's able to shoot it around Paul Dawson over the top, and that sneaks in past Matt Vince. This is what we said, John. Get one. Philadelphia needs to win a faceoff here, get another possession, or earn a defensive stop, force a turnover. Philadelphia's got to go on a run here to get back into this game.
15th of the season for Holden Cantoni. Had 2 assists coming into the second half of play. His first marker of the game, and this is a guy that's right up there in scoring in the NLL scoreboard. We'll have a look at that in just a couple of moments. We're going to get a break. See how the top players of this game tonight here in Buffalo are faring out. So far so good for the Bandits, but here comes Philadelphia. Another shot hitting the end boards. That was a blistering one. You could hear it. Ball picked up by Thomas Whitty. Left it over for Josh Byrne. Getting the minutes tonight. In over the line. He goes into Philadelphia zones. Got Manicoke with him. Good pick again by Kluche. Byrne with a shot. Played off the end boards. Manicoke couldn't get it. Picked up along the boards, and Buffalo comes back with it. And the 30-second shot clock refuels. Fraser, Smith, Nanacoke to Byrne. Byrne far wide to Smith with a shot hitting the turf wide. Rebound Kluche. 10 to shoot for Buffalo. Byrne with the ball. Kluche powering his way. Byrne with a shot. Demuth with the save. The rebound picked up by Davis Alvin and shown the left wing side. Philadelphia comes out.
Since the goal, Philadelphia won the faceoff and now forced to stop. They're getting some momentum as far as offensive sets. Now they've got to finish a few.
14 goals for Buffalo on 38 shots. Philadelphia back down into the Bandit zone. Mitch Jones one-arms the ball, tried to set it up. Terrace couldn't do it, and Buffalo breaks out of their own zone and back out at center.
Priolo blanketed all over Joey Resetarits. It hit him in the back, and that loose ball scooped up by Buffalo's defense.
Dane Smith down into the Philadelphia zone from the top of the slot, leaving it back over to Chris Kluche. Kluche getting a nice pick from Scanlon, back over to Smith. Smith leaving it into the corner to Fraser. Now Kluche, 5 to shoot. Shot right at the doorstep. Scramble for the ball continues in front of the Philadelphia net, and finally picked up on the wing, but again,
in and out of the crease.
Relentless forechecking, and much to the appreciation of the fans here in Buffalo, and the extra work, as John Tavares had mentioned in the first half of play, of how this kid, Scanlon, is working so well with the Buffalo lineup. 14 goals for Buffalo on 39 shots.
Website or visit NLL.com/tickets and experience the excitement for yourself today.
We're here to sweat the details, to test and retest. Because when you're known for speed and reliability inside, you need to deliver speed and reliability outside, in all kinds of weather, all year round. Because if it can handle all of this, it can definitely handle this. Introducing Eero Outdoor 7. Eero, the way Wi-Fi should be.
Don't miss any of the action this season. Head to NLL.com/tickets and get yourself front row seats to your NLL's favorite team. All of the big hits, highlight reel goals, and star-studded matchups. That's NLL.com/tickets. And of course, things are warm and dry here in the KeyBank Center, but the same could not be said for the Canisius Golden Griffs men's lacrosse team, who held their first practice of the season on Monday outside in the cold and snow here in Buffalo. Canisius is the alma mater of Bandits goalie Matt Vince. Their head coach is former NLL player Mark Miyashita, and Las Vegas Desert Dogs rookie Jackson Webster is also a volunteer assistant coach for the Griffins.
Yeah, no shoveling here inside KeyBank Center. Nothing but clean turf, and Buffalo's got the ball down into the Philadelphia zone. Josh Byrne with the top of the slot, leaving to the far side over to Kyle Buchanan. Buchanan trying to get help, which he does. Over to Smith. Backed up nicely by Dehoka Nanacoke. Over the shoulder feed. There's a shot on by McKay. Amu turns it aside, and 2 Philadelphia defenders pick up the ball, but Buchanan going out will make him pay for it.
Another stop for Philadelphia, though, John. They just got to finish on the offensive end. They've slowed down the Buffalo offense. Just 1 goal for Buffalo in the second half.
Spreading, Philadelphia down into the Bandits zone. 7 seconds left on the shot clock. Saved by Matt Vincent. Rebound is picked up by the Bandits and pushed back out at center. 14-6. Buffalo here in the third quarter of play. Shots on goal favoring the Bandits 40-30. Steve, I mean this in earnest. The 30 shots by Philadelphia have been real hard. Good shots.
Yeah, they're getting good looks. Matt Vince has been up to the task. He's turned away some good scoring chances for Philadelphia, including in this second half.
Bandits, plenty of time on the shot clock. Kluche, quick stick shot, just off the side of the Philadelphia net. No, it did not hit Demuth. So the shot clock continues now at 10. Smith has got it, works to the top of the slot, running, shot wide. Rebound, Nanico couldn't get it over in back charge, and it's Philadelphia's ball. Critical moment of tonight's game, Steve. I would imagine it'd be right here in the third quarter, 6:18 left. And over in back charge, and Philadelphia's got to convert.
Yeah, they have to convert. It's another stop. I keep saying it, another stop by Philadelphia's defense. Buffalo's offense cooled off in this quarter. Philadelphia's got to put a few in a row in here.
Joey Resiteris trying to lead the way. Leaves it back to the far side. Now to the near side. Scramble in front of the Buffalo net. Met strong. And a penalty, I think, against Buffalo.
It'll be a holding call here. 2 of the wings cut through to the middle, one right after the other. And either Resiteris might have been held up.
Here's the call.
Buffalo number 12, minor penalty holding.
And now the Wings power play, which I believe is 2 for 2, including a goal about 5 seconds into their last power play by Blaze Reardon, goes to work. This could be just what the doctor ordered for Philadelphia.
What makes it so effective?
The speed of the ball movement's been good. The way how quickly the ball moved is how they scored last time, and you can see how quickly that ball is swinging around right now.
Jones leaving it to the far side. Shot goal scored by Philadelphia. Tick tack 2.
John, this is Phil Caputo, and I think he bats this one in out of the air. As the rebound pops, he's able to just scoop it up in the air. Similar to Priolo's goal, where he scooped the rebound when Nick Weiss took a shot down low. That one, Caputo did not bat this in. He's able to actually catch and shoot it while in midair. But that low shot on the power play pops up in the air off of Matt Vince's right leg. Caputo goes up the ladder, catches it, deposits it into the net. And that power play is lethal. And they strike with a quickness, do the Wings on the power play. 14-7 still, and the Wings win the faceoff.
8th goal of the season for Phil Caputo. Philadelphia 3 for 3 on the power play. Building in shots as well, 33 as we speak. And the ball controlled by Philadelphia, in over the line, shot on. Matt Vince makes the save and the rebound. Ian McKay with the mad dash. He's got Dylan Robinson with him, as well as Thomas Whitty. There's a shot on, that by Whitty. Rebound to the left side of the Philadelphia net. Dylan Robinson doing some nifty forward chores. He'll bring it out to center, allow a little bit of a shift change for Buffalo to get the big guns back out. 3 of them step out, led by Josh Byrne. Byrne, Smith, Deaking, shot on, blocked, rebound, Buffalo scored! And down goes Feza.
2 chances in transition for the Bandits, both turned away. But credit goes to Dylan Robinson for scooping that last loose ball. With that shot clock reset, the Bandits get 5 forwards out on the floor. Dane Smith takes a shot, blocked out in front, off the thigh of Wagner. And then the rebound picked up by Fraser, and he plants his feet just outside the crease. And as he's falling down, fake, puts it into the net. And Buffalo puts a stop to Philadelphia's last goal on the power play responds to Philadelphia's last goal on the power play. 15-7 Bandits.
How about Chase Fraser tonight? 3 goals, 4 assists so far in this campaign. And as I think back when Damoud was with Panther City and the Bandits played down in Fort Worth, Fraser did not play, so Damoud doesn't know the moves of one Chase Fraser.
Yeah, the Bandits know Damoud from his time out west. Kyle Buchanan told me this morning that he played with Nick Damoud out in San Diego, so they do know him fairly well. But as we mentioned, Damoud, the last goaltender to beat the Bandits, but the Bandits seem to have his number tonight.
Blaze Reardon leaving it, ball down for Joey Reseteras from the corner. There's a shot on. That off the stick of Phil Caputo. Rebound Philadelphia. Strive hard. That one by Brennan O'Neill.
And Vince soaks it up again, John. Brennan O'Neill's had so many good looks. And the elder statesman and Matt Vince just been able to turn everything away thus far.
15-7 Buffalo here in the third quarter of play. Chris Kluche with the ball. Slot area. He'll go over to Dane Smith. Now to Josh Byrne. Byrne taking a look at things. Scores! Between the legs. Byrne.
Byrne with his 7th goal of the game. This one may be the prettiest yet. Dane Smith kicks it over to Byrne, who takes a couple steps left and right, and then one-handed underhand is able to scoot this one into the back of the net past Nick Damoud, who just looks up as it bounces in between his right glove and right thigh. The underhand, one-hand bouncer by Josh Byrne. It's Buffalo 16, Philadelphia 7, 3:31 to play in quarter number 3.
Okay, not between the legs, but a nice shoveling move.
Yeah, it looked like he might have gone through his own legs from behind, but even still, that one-hand underhand shot finds the back of the net.
44 shots on goal for Buffalo, 16 goals, 35 shots for Philadelphia, 7 goals. Our coverage continues tonight. Head to NLL.com fan zone to vote for the Connection of the Month presented by Eero. One lucky winner will be selected to win a prize valued at $1,200. NLL Pick'em is the new way to get involved. With weekly and monthly prizes, everyone has a chance to win. Play today at the NLL fan zone. John Gertler, Steve Mermel, Dave Buchanan with you this evening here from the KeyBank Center in downtown Buffalo. Jeff Ives, our producer, Dave Dubner, our director, Tom Matty and Chris Giacobella handling things on the radio. And yes, one Dave Perry, who we have worked with for years. All the way back in the odd days, Dave. He was the one that brought the music to the odd. Thank you, Dave, and thank you to the great production crew here tonight in Buffalo. And the fans are loving it because it's Honky Tonk Night, one of the theme nights. Pretty good vocals, huh? For how many? 17,000? How many, Steve?
We had an official count come across at 17,561, John.
Wow. They were all belting that one pretty nice. Again, to our listeners on AM 1520 The Bet. Also to the viewers down in Philadelphia, Philly 57 and CW23 here in Buffalo, along with ESPN Plus, TSN Plus, and NLL Plus. Good talk with the commissioner at the halftime. I know you probably didn't get to hear it, but Steve.
Whoa.
There's a shot right on, and Philadelphia scores.
This was a pass getting fed to the middle that ricocheted off of one of the Bandits and goes into the net. And I'm not sure this didn't hit a Bandit in the helmet with how hard this ball deflected. Catoni just looking to fire it out front. Looks like it went off the face mask of Steve Priolo or his stick in front of his face. That happens so fast.
Wow.
And that ends up going 5-hole on Matt Vince.
You remember a handful of seasons ago, the ball hit Steve Priolo's face mask and went between the bars and into his face?
Yeah.
Missed a couple of games from that.
Yeah,
wow.
And that happened to Zach Higgins 2 years ago with the goaltender. But yeah, that was a crazy goal if I've ever seen one. But hey, that might be the type of bounce Philadelphia needs to build on to get back into this game.
16-8 Buffalo here with 2 minutes and 7 seconds remaining in the third quarter. And Philadelphia charging right back down into the Bandits zone. Shot is blocked into traffic. However, the Wings hang on to it, scurrying from the far corner, leaving it out in desperation, but nothing doing. And outlet pass is Matt Vince, leaving it over to Dylan Robinson, right to the Philadelphia restraining line. Buffalo changing up on the fly. Fresh forces coming from the Buffalo bench. Dane Smith from the far corner. Byrne is there as well. McKay doing some pushing and shoving. Now Smith going back to work, taking the shot, shoulder save, rebound. Shot on by Scanlon. Look at this kid work.
That was a great save by Damu.
Just continuing to get that ball away, and Scanlon has got it. What a move. Clay Scanlon giving the ball back to Buffalo. Byrne, Smith. McKay is out there as well. There's a low drive with under a minute to play here in the third. Dane Smith getting the ball. 4 seconds left on the shot clock. McKay takes it. That's blocked off the side by Alex Pace. That one's going to leave a mark in the morning. Under a minute to play here in the third. Buffalo 16-8. Philadelphia streaking, score! 1, 2, 3 effort, and Mitch Jones for Philadelphia scoring the Wings' 9th goal of the game.
Yeah, as time's running down here in quarter number 3, Mitch Jones able to spin around both Sam LaRue and Nick Weiss, and a great job to get inside leverage on 2 Bandits defenders. And then he's able to do a bit of a crease dive over the right shoulder of Matt Vince. But ultimately, John, that spin move by Mitch Jones was outstanding, and that's how he was able to get himself one-on-one with the Bandits netminder. And with 44.6 to go in the third, the Bandits lead cut to 7.
Draws are very important. Looks like Philadelphia coming back strong by winning this one, and possession is so important, especially with a team that's trying to come from behind. Philadelphia will not stop. Joey Reseteris will leave it to that from the top of the slot. Likes to go to the far corner. Deking is Jones. Looking, top of the slot. Reardon, quick stick, score! Now that's ball movement by Philadelphia.
John, this is outstanding ball movement and outstanding off-ball movement. The amount of picks being sent through the middle forced the Bandits to make multiple switches. And what happens is, as switches are happening, Blaze Reardon gets lost on the edge of the crease, because every time the ball moves and a pick is set, the Bandits defenders have to make a switch, have to slide out. And just like on that power play goal earlier, Reardon sets up right on the goal line to the left of Matt Vince and gets forgotten about and is able to quick stick it into the net. John, we've got a game here. 6 goals between these two teams, 19.5 seconds to go in the third.
From the draw, Scurry from the face-off circle. Quick stick right to Philadelphia restraining line. Immediately scooped up. 10 seconds left in the third corner. Hammoud goes to the bench for the extra attacker. Shot wide. Rebound again, Philadelphia. Storming in, shooting it. No time left on the third. On the flyby, multiple wings there in front of the Buffalo net, but Matt Vince and the defensive core holding strong. 16-10 Buffalo going to the fourth quarter of play.
The National Lacrosse League celebrates the heritage of this game and the many Indigenous contributions we all enjoy. During warm-up, players are wearing orange shirts designed by Mohawk artist Corey Parkin as a reminder that every child matters. The artwork contains several Indigenous symbols such as a sky dome, turtle shell, tree of peace, and variations of a wooden stick, which has long been used throughout the game's history. We invite all of you to visit NLLunites.com to learn more. Guys, as we start the fourth quarter, the Philadelphia Wings trying to carry some energy to try and close the gap. And energy is something that Mitch Jones and I talked about this morning. He says one of the biggest differences for the Wings this season in their 4-1 start is the energy brought by the new faces behind their bench, including head coach Ian Rubel, plus associate head coach Tracy Koleski and assistant Pat McCready. And they're trying to carry that energy to get back in this game.
They've got it right now, Dave. Yes, outscoring Buffalo 5-3. In the third quarter of play, including a 3-goal run. Steve, making a game of it. We said it at halftime. Philadelphia will not die.
Yeah, even more importantly than the goals they scored, they made Buffalo's offense cool off a little bit. And that's been how they've been able to claw their way back into this one.
Back down in the zone, score, Philadelphia! 4-goal run by the Wings, and they're doing it as a team.
And this is Caputo again. Had the goal on the power play on the rebound last time. This time, a quick catch and shoot right on the top of the crease. And that didn't take long, 29 seconds into the fourth quarter. 5-goal game, Buffalo still up 16-11, but the Wings are coming on strong.
In the 5-goal run for Philadelphia, Joey Rezateras with 2 goals, 4 assists for 6 total points. Jones 6 points, Catoni with 6 points, Reardon with 4, LeCaire with a couple of goals, Malcolm and Caputo haven't been able to register any points. Brendan O'Neill, and now we'll get a chance for Philadelphia again, accepting an errant pass, and down into the Buffalo zone they go. From the far corner, scooting out, shot, score!
Sam LeClaire, believe that's his hat-trick goal. And you mentioned the errant pass, John. Off the faceoff, Sam LaRue brings the ball into the offensive zone, gets double-teamed into the boards, picks his head up looking for help, passing it out to the middle of the floor, and that pass got picked off. And Sam LaRue smacked his stick against the boards, frustrated with that pass getting picked off. And a few seconds later, the Wings score. We have a 4-goal game with 14:05 to play.
Oh, as we had mentioned in the third quarter, how important draws are. An illegal draw by Farrell gives Philadelphia the possession again. Steve, they'll take it any way they can right now, and pushing the ball back down into Buffalo territory. Catoni from the top of the slot elects to go to the far side. Deking now, Philadelphia in the zone, out in front. Batted down by Buffalo's defense and picked up and trying to storm back out. See if the Bandits can get anything together here with Priolo and Weiss. Pushing it across the line. Kluche comes out along with Buchanan. Smith already there to the near side. Completing is Nanakoke and Byrne. Low dribbler out in front, again picked up by tenacious defense by Philadelphia, and they storm right back out at center and approach the Buffalo restraining line. 16-12 Buffalo here in the fourth quarter. In over the line. O'Neal leaving it to the far side. Quick stick shot. Save. Matt Vince sealed the right side of the net. Allows Buffalo to come back out at center. Clearing it is Spanger. Now to McKay, storming across the restraining line into Philadelphia territory. Fraser with the ball. Nifty swim move, shooting it, safe rebound out in front. Nanakoke couldn't convert, and now Philadelphia right back at it to the Buffalo restraining line.
Two great saves by Nick Damu back-to-back on Chase Fraser into Hogan Nanakoke.
Resatera setting it out in front, busted up by Buffalo's defense. And picked up by the Bandits and pushed back out at center. Nick Weiss is there. Left wing lane over to Josh Byrne. 46-41 in shots, Buffalo. Attacking down in the zone. Byrne with a drive. They move with a save. The rebound. Picked up, but in pursuit is Byrne trying to get that ball away. The Wings are turning on the speed, crossing the Buffalo restraining line. Now to the near side. Left by Ryan Wagner, two fresh forces from the Philadelphia bench. Shot, score! Philadelphia on a roll. Catoni.
This one's going to go to Holden Catoni. Thomas Whitty looks like he rolled his ankle or got hurt along the far side boards and was slow to get back into the play. He took a push from behind, and in doing so, was a little bit labored trying to get back into the play, and Catoni heads to the spot that was vacated by Whitty. And now Philadelphia within 3 goals here. This crowd is stunned.
Yeah.
John, what a run here for the Wings. 11:55 to play in regulation.
Buffalo at one time with an 8-1 lead in this game. Philadelphia now on a 6-goal run. And as Steve said, 3 to get to a tie. Still plenty of time left here in this game. Fourth quarter action. Fraser with the ball inside the Philadelphia zone. Likes to go over to Josh Byrne. Byrne out in front. Quick stick shot wide by Nanakoke, and it's picked up by Philadelphia, and they charge right back out. Leaving it down into the far corner. Resatera couldn't hang on to it. Buffalo's defense is there. Philadelphia trying to take a page of Buffalo's forechecking. But the Bandits escape back out at center. Fraser leaving it off. He'll go over to the bench.
Another big loose ball by Dylan Robinson. He didn't scoop it up, but he tied up the Wings forward in their stick so they couldn't scoop the loose ball, and that afforded Buffalo possession.
Quick stick, score! Okay, McKay.
John, this is a pretty one. The ball ends up down into the corner with Josh Byrne, and he flips it out front to Ian McKay, who's got Ryan Wagner draped all over him. But McKay able to scoop it up and do a little underhand shovel past Damu. His second goal of the night gives Buffalo a 4-goal lead back, 17-13 with 10:58 to play.
Don't want to play Katie by the door, but on the other hand, Buffalo just has to continue to convert on a regular basis in order to hold off these wings, which they're trying to do right now with the ball down into the Philadelphia zone.
A lot of times you say when a team is trailing, they didn't play a full 60 minutes. The Bandits are in the lead. They still have to play a full 60 minutes. An 8-1 lead is long gone. They've got to keep fighting to not only keep the lead, but extend it, because Philadelphia is knocking at the door at every turn.
Buffalo shot by Dehuka Nanakok. He retrieves it. They'll try it again. Burn from the far side. Getting some room to move. Elects to go over to Nanakok. Nanakok far side. Picked over to Cloutier. Cloutier takes the shot wide. Rebound to the right side of Damoud. A solid hit along the boards, and Fraser slow in getting up. No call on the play.
Loose ball push is going to give Buffalo possession. No penalty called, but you're right. Fraser got dumped.
Reset of the shot clock here in the fourth. We played 5 minutes. 17-13 Buffalo. Bandits coming into this evening's game 4-0. Philadelphia 4-1. Battle for the top spot of the unified standings of the National Lacrosse League. Here's Smith. Burns, low drive. Save. Demuth. The track meet is paused. The 6-goal run by Philadelphia extinguished by McKay.
Curtis Dixon and his teammate Dane Dobie are littered all over the Calgary record book.
As the Rock will capitalize, this is why you bring your talents inside the box. Air Boucher takes flight.
Just rips it past.
Simply cannot miss.
This is your life without Eero.
Oh, come on.
The Wi-Fi's out again.
This is the worst.
Not now.
And this is your life with Eero.
I love you too. Oh, come on.
Why would you do this to us?
This is the worst.
We can't improve everything in your life, but we can improve your Wi-Fi. It's fast, reliable, and now available outside your home. Eero, the way Wi-Fi should be.
Time now for the Euro assist of the game. Steve, who do we got?
Yeah, the good feed out front by Josh Byrne through a tight window, and McKay with Ryan Wagner draped all over him, gets the underhand shot away that goes in. And as you said before the break, John, that goal by McKay stopping the run by the Wings. Quite a lot of momentum being held by Philadelphia to that point, and now with possession, we'll see what the Wings can do here.
Philadelphia outscoring Buffalo 8-4 here in the second half of play, and coming on strong. Here with plenty of time left in regulation. They've got the ball down into the Bandit zone from the far side. Feed pass out in front. Caccioni back over to Resiteras. Reardon couldn't handle it. Good pressure by Buffalo's defense, and the Bandits break out of their own zone. A mad dash down the left wing lane is Steve Priolo. Celebrated a birthday on Wednesday. Priolo leaving it off now to Dane Smith. Smith on his own, losing a little footing on the turf, regains his composure, waits for everybody to get into position, which he does. Cloutier to Byrne. Byrne with a nifty move, leaving it out in front, and he is hammered right to the doorstep of Nick Demuth.
Byrne did a great job. That move put the defender on skates, but he actually had his pocket picked as he went to shoot. Ball falls out of his stick, and then he was given a heavy hit up top for his troubles.
50 shots on goal for Buffalo. Philadelphia 42. Scoring a bucket of goals here in this second half of play. Shot straight on by Caccioni. Good save by Matt Vince. Outlet pass over to Nick Weiss out in front to Byrne with a shot. Quick stick. Save Demuth. Davis Allen getting the ball back out to center. And here come the Wings immediately down into Bandit territory. Bandits leading it 17-13. Caccioni with the ball. Getting himself into position and receiving some help as well. Tried to feed it back over, but couldn't do it. Good checking along the way, and ball is picked off by Reardon. He's double teamed down to the turf.
Loose ball push. Reardon forced the ball loose, scooped it up. Bandits knocked it away from him, but then a loose ball push gives Philadelphia possession in the Buffalo zone.
Here comes Philadelphia again. Nifty move by O'Neal, leaving it down to the far corner. There is his move there in front. Traffic jam, blocked by Buffalo, and picked back up, but cleared by Philadelphia. Shot, score! Another team effort by the Wings, and they are right back into this one.
The Bandits can come up with a loose ball in their own end cleanly to break out, and another turnover. We saw Blaze Reardon force a turnover behind the net for another offensive set. This time the breakout is broken up, and O'Neal feeds it to Mitch Jones on the doorstep, and he's able to catch, turn, shoot, and score. And with 7:26 to play, the lead is cut back down to 3.
Again, just to refresh, Buffalo with that 8-1 lead in the second quarter of play. And Philadelphia coming on strong here in the second half. Outscoring Buffalo 9-4. Bandits with the ball. Feet pass down the front. Shot. Saved. Damoud. Rebound Buffalo. They did not reset the shot clock. I thought that ball hit Damoud, but I guess not. Point blank range, a floater that comes in, and that's going to do it for the 30-second shot clock. So Philadelphia gears it up here with 6:51 remaining in regulation, 17-14. Buffalo. A shootout at the OK Corral. Honky-tonk night here in Bandit Land. Over 17,000 on hand. Here's a mad dash. Shot save, kick save, rebound. Wide.
John, the Bandits
making
get
the
caught.
save when he needs to.
Yeah, big saves by Matt Vince, but the Bandits get caught late on their switch, and it leads to a breakaway. A pick was set, and the help comes over a little bit too late, and that leads to a one-on-one chance. Matt Vince turns 2 away, but Philadelphia with a third chance and the ball.
Jones and Reseteras combined together. Good pick there. And that one will be called.
That's a penalty. This is going to be...
Down hard goes McKay. He was hit blindside.
Yeah, this is not an illegal pick possession. This is going to be a penalty on Leclerc, maybe. This was a really high pick that catches Ian McKay. Caught him in the chest, but high impact.
We have a major penalty on the play that will be under review.
So this is called a 5-minute major, John. It's reviewed automatically. They can reduce it to a 2-minute minor. They can reduce it to no penalty at all. We know an illegal pick awards possession, but they deem that this was a high pick, which leads to the major penalty call.
And Todd LaBranche, the crew chief, goes in to the off-field officials. And we'll take a look at the framing and make his decision whether it's a major or, as Steve said, whittled it back down to a minor. Take a look at it, Steve.
Yeah, McKay doesn't see the pick coming. That's not what makes it an illegal pick. It's where the contact is made. And as McKay turns, gets put down onto his backside by a stiff shoulder by Leclerc. And it kind of comes across his face a little bit, right? Leclerc seems to get a shoulder in his chest, but maybe a little impact across McKay's face mask. We see him on the bench looking a little shaken up, but okay. And now we have our decision from our officials.
Here's Todd LaBranche.
Minor penalty for body checking.
So it turns into a minor for an illegal body check on Sam Leclerc.
Back to 2. No rest for Philadelphia. They'll return home and prepare for a Monday afternoon game against Vancouver, who lost to Ottawa last night. A 5 o'clock face-off time in Philadelphia Monday.
Bandits power play 0 for 1, John. One look so far. I believe that was back in the first quarter. So their second chance on the power play goes to work now.
They worked on this during the warm-up tonight's game. Back behind the net, a high shot that intended for Buchanan. Couldn't do it, and here comes Philadelphia shorthanded with a mad dash in over the restraining line. Getting close to Matt Vince. Buffalo's trying to get themselves into position with some heavy artillery there. And speaking for defensemen, even though they're on the power play, and Philadelphia will just casually work their time, pick their spots. Brendan O'Neill, the big guy, takes the shot, save Matt Vince, rebound, jumps out in front. Scramble for the ball continues.
John, we had the buzzer for a shot clock violation, but that was not a shot clock violation as Matt Vince made the save. Philadelphia comes up with the rebound. Vince makes another save, and Josh Byrne now has the ball. The Bandits have 54 seconds left in this power play.
7 goals tonight for Josh Byrne. Dane Smith teams up together with his partner, leaving it out in front. Nanaco hampered, now looks to go to Byrne. Byrne, quick stick shot, Buchanan. Save Demuth, rebound Buffalo, reset of the shot clock.
Another penalty coming up here, and Nanaco gets knocked over from behind.
Nanaco taking a beating.
And John, the Bandits perfectly happy to let the clock just run down here.
Nanaco twirling, taking the shot, scores!
Chris Kluche. As the Bandits milk the shot clock down, gets to be about 5 seconds left on it. Kluche works his way to the middle. The Bandits working a 6-on-4 there, John. That will release the first penalty that went to Leclerc, and the Bandits will now get a second penalty, power play rather, for the full 2 minutes because Nanacoke took the hit up high. And you mentioned Nanacoke had them all riled up in front of Demuth.
Well, we mentioned at the start of tonight's game.
2 minor penalties on the play. Philadelphia number 41. Minor penalty for illegal cross-check. Minor penalty for unsportsmanlike conduct.
So now, sorry, John, there was 20 seconds left in that penalty to Sam Leclerc, and now that turns into a 4-minute power play for Buffalo, as Alex Pace was assessed the penalty for the cross-check on Nanacoke, and he was none too pleased by the call. So now Buffalo afforded a double minor power play with a chance to score 2 goals. As long as the first one comes before the 2-minute mark, they'll still have a 2-minute power play. And for all intents and purposes here, John, the Bandits have a chance to salt this game away. Doesn't mean that they will. A shorthanded goal by Philadelphia or even a couple of stops. But with 4:33 on the clock and a 4-minute power play,
see what the Bandits do here. Time of possession is so important. Utilizing the positioning down into the Philadelphia zone and crisp passing and the 30-second shot clock. Fraser with the ball, hangs on to it, elected not to shoot. Now back to Fraser. His shot blocked by Demuth, rebound picked up by Philadelphia. Good forechecking by Ian McKay. And McKay's got it.
hidden ball trick between McKay and Dane Smith right now.
Leave it off for Smith with the shot. Demuth leaves it right on the goal line, and hang on here, 3 minutes and 50 seconds left to play into regulation. Buffalo 18, Philadelphia 14.
The next NLL Friday night on TSN is set as the Toronto Rock visit the Calgary Roughnecks on January 24th at 9 p.m. Eastern. Don't miss the action on TSN and ESPN+. And guys, I'll tell you what, tonight's game is kind of like a little bit of a trend we've seen in the National Lacrosse League this season where a lot of goals. We've got 32 goals. We had 37 last week between Halifax and Rochester. And also, it seems like maybe this is anecdotally, guys, but a trend of teams maybe blowing some leads. Last week we saw, Albany blow an 8-1 lead to Colorado. Buffalo up 8-1 tonight. They've held on here, but still, it seems like two trends during these first 8 weeks of the National Lacrosse League season: lots of goals, and also no lead seems to be safe this year.
I believe Halifax won after trailing 9-3 as well. Something like 12-9. They went on 9 straight goals to end the game after trailing 9-3. If my memory serves me right. So yeah, Dave, we've seen some games that look like they might have been going one way, end up another.
Philadelphia, plenty of time, and with a full head of steam down into the Buffalo zone from the far side. Everybody's making a contribution. Mitch Jones trying to focus in, leaves it back behind the net, really couldn't get into an angle to take a shot. The extra attacker has to go to the bench because Demood will come back out. And a break now for Buffalo to control the ball. 3 minutes and 20 seconds remaining in regulation. 18-14 Buffalo.
Still 2 minutes and 40 seconds left in the power play, John.
Top of the slot is Byrne. Now to Smith. Nanticoke scores! Happy birthday, Tehoka.
Nanticoke rotates his way to the middle and gets a pick from Clay Scanlon that springs him open off ball as Scanlon moves to the front of the crease. That gives Tehoka Nanticoke just enough room to work around Connor Sellers, and he's able to deposit this into the top of the net. Buffalo up 19-14, and John, as I talked about before, because the Bandits scored with 2 minutes and 30 seconds on that penalty, it trips down to 2 minutes. Still a full minor to be served by Alex Pace because of that unsportsmanlike that got tacked on. So with 3:05 to go, the Bandits still have a man advantage for 2 minutes.
First of the evening for Tehoka. As mentioned, his birthday today and his 8th goal of the season. Buffalo with the ball down into the Philadelphia zone. Trying to stretch the field that they have in the attacking area and whittle time away. Smith back behind the net to Buchanan. There's Byrne to Buchanan. Buchanan with a shot straight on. Demuth makes the save. The rebound picked up by Buffalo and the reset of the shot clock. Watch the crisp passing and the picking by Buffalo, like Chase Fraser. Now to Byrne with a shot. Shoulder save by Demuth. Rebound finds Buchanan on his own, deep into the Philadelphia corner.
And a third reset now, third shot clock for Buffalo. And although they haven't scored on this power play, they're just bleeding out the clock, are the Bandits.
Smith, Byrne, Smith, back to Byrne, Byrne, now to Fraser. Now to Smith, Fraser with a drive, they move to the save, the rebound picked up by Josh Byrne. Reset of the shot clock.
A fourth shot clock, 1:43 to play, 37 seconds left in the power play.
Amazing to note, Buffalo will again be in a bye week situation next week. The next game will be February 1st. As shot by Burns, stopped by Demuth. With a Tucker Out Lymphoma night here at KeyBank Center to close out a 4-game homestand.
The Firewolves, right, coming to town.
That'll be the first game of the Tucker Cup, which was established this year. So again, off. I don't know how these guys do it, being off so much. And they'll do it again this week, and then again back in action at home here in Buffalo on February 1st for Tucker Out Lymphoma. Under a minute to play here in this game, 19-14 Buffalo. What a game, especially at the first half of the Bandits taking the 8-1 lead, but give credit to Philadelphia storming back on a 6-goal run, getting right back into the game. outscoring Buffalo in the second half of play. And they'll pack up and get ready to go home to host Vancouver on Monday. A 5 o'clock face-off time in Philadelphia against Vancouver. Vince making the save as time ticks away on the Wings. Gives them credit in the fight that they had in the second half of play to stay back into this game. It comes within 3 at one time.
And John, we heard from the Wings bench that they had to weather the storm early. The Bandits had to weather the storm late, and they're going to hold on for this win.
That's a final tonight here from KeyBank Center. Buffalo 19, Philadelphia 14. Well, I asked you the question at the beginning of the game. Would it be a track meet, a high-scoring game, or would it be a defensive game?
Well, it looked pretty one-sided at 8-1, right? It looked like one team was going to be explosive and have a good goaltending and defensive performance. But as mentioned, after the 8-1 Bandits lead, the Wings come back within 3 with a heck of a lot of fight in the second half. Just unfortunately for Philadelphia, too much of a deficit to overcome. But a great effort, and John, full credit for them to keep fighting the way that they did, right? A great effort from the Wings to not ever give up, even when they were down 8-1. But the Bandits advanced to 5-0 on the season, and now standing alone first in the National Lacrosse League unified standings.
Josh Burns, 7 goals, 5 assists for 12 points. Dane Smith, a goal and 9 assists for 10 points. That's for Smith now, his 5th 8+ point night. Fraser 3 and 4, Cloutier 2+2, McKay with a couple of goals, Nanticoke 1 and 1, Wires 1 and 1. Farrell, Scanlon, Robinson the assist, Dawson and Priolo also scoring for Buffalo. The traditional handshake here in the National Lacrosse League. Job well done by both clubs.
He's a sharpshooter for certain. Shoots and scores! Brandon O'Neill with his first goal on the home floor, and what a beauty it is!
Get your tickets now, only at wingslax.com.
Hey, down to the turf, Dave Buchanan with Chris Cloutier.
Thanks, John Kluch. Heck of a game for you guys, although you had to hold on there at the bit. How good was it just to be back in the lineup, first of all?
It felt amazing. I've been itching to get back in Buffalo, playing in front of the best fans in the league. Couldn't ask for anything more for my first game back.
How about that left side, though? Obviously you and Josh, but you've got Ian and you've got Clay Scanlon. How good is this left side offense you got going right now?
Yeah, Clay's doing great, fitting in great. Ian is, he's an O guy. He's an O guy, he's an D guy, he's whatever you need him to be. He's the best at what he does. He'll do whatever you ask, and, everyone's just looking for each other's success, and, that's what makes us great.
Congrats on the win. Enjoy this one with your teammates.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Guys?
33 goals scored tonight. Buffalo victorious 19-14, remains undefeated at 5-0. Tonight's broadcast produced by Jeff Ives and directed by Dave Dubner. This has been a National Lacrosse League production in association with Dome. Coordinating producers for the NLL is Scott Zolotrov. Manager of broadcast Mike Pennant, Senior Vice President of NLL Broadcast and Operations Ed Durst. The executive producer of the NLL is Joe Feld. For Dave Buchanan, Steve Bermo, John Kurtler. Good night from Buffalo.